Okay. Yeah. Hello, Bante, and hello, everyone. Today is February 3rd, on Saturday, and we are on the Buddhism Journey with Bhante Sumitta. And hello, Bante. And we already did some short introduction about the Bante to share the introduction to the with Bante to the group here while we're waiting. So Bante, so please go ahead and take over the call. Thank you.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Honor to him, the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened One. My utmost respect to the perfectly enlightened Samma Sambuddha, the noble doctrine of the Buddha, and the noble Mahasangha, the disciples of the Buddha. Hello, everyone. Let me at the very outset express my gratitude to the organizers of this event, especially Upasika Sister Maiha Lay. Hope I am correct in the pronunciation. Thank you so much for inviting. And also, I'm very glad to be a part of this wonderful event. Always happy to be with the young children. Very happy to talk to the young children because they are our future, right? They are going to be the leaders of this world, leaders of the world, the communities, and all these institutes. So I think it will be very helpful to all of us to help them, guide them somewhere, if we can help whatever we can to make their life more meaningful, to guide them to the right path. That will be a very, very wonderful cause, a noble cause, and I really appreciate this organization, Atlanta Buddhism organization, and especially Sister Maiha and all the people. I would like to say that I also watched your program last week. I remember Randall. I saw you were there too, and many other children. And so I was asked to talk about the Four Noble Truth. So as a Theravada Buddhist monk, traditionally trained from Sri Lanka, and I have been a monk for the last 43 years. So I would basically talk about the Theravada Buddhist perspective on the Four Noble Truths. I'm sure Four Noble Truths, if we talk about the Four Noble Truths, it will be very helpful to all of us because Four Noble Truths is the very foundation of the Buddha Dhamma, the doctrine of the Buddha. And so whether we like it or not, we have to start with suffering, right? So sometimes people don't really like to talk about suffering. They don't want to talk about the death. They don't want to talk about the negativity. Yes. But if we know about these things, it will do all the good things for us, and it will make our life more comfortable, more confident, and more meaningful. So we can really avoid the reality all the time. So one day it is said when Prince Siddhartha, when he was a young person, when he was going for um, going to the royal park along with his charioteer Channa, and he saw an old man. Usually he doesn't have exposure to old people like that. And when he saw this old man, he was very surprised. He was different looking and he had wrinkles in his face and he was bent and he was not a very strong, healthy person. And then he asked his charioteer, young man, charioteer Channa, why is he so different? And then Channa said, he is an old man. Then here Siddhartha asked, who is an old man? Old man is, he has lived in the world for a while, so he has lost his youth. He is no more young, and so he is an old man now. He is not exuberant. He is not like thriving, strong, healthy person, handsome person like before. And then Prince Siddhartha asked, does it happen to me also? And does it happen to my young pretty wife? And all my near and dear ones, all my loved ones? And Channa asked, Channa said, yes, everyone will have to be like that. They all get old. So Prince Siddhartha was shocked. He felt sad, actually, because he was never exposed to such people before. It was because of the king's arrangement. So he was not shown those old elderly people. And then he went back to the palace. He was not happy. Another time, he went again. He was on his way back to the royal park. This time he saw a sick person, very sick, very, very sick. And then Prince Siddhartha had the discussion with Channa. He asked, what happened to him? Why is he so different again? And then Channa said, he is a sick person. Who is a sick person? What is sickness? And then Channa said, whether we like it or not, we become sick, and it's an integral part of our life. So Channa said, everyone is subject to sickness. And so Prince Siddhartha decided not to go to the royal park. He went back to the palace. Third time he went. On his way, he saw a dead body. People, a dead body was surrounded by people, and they started crying, weeping, wailing, and they were very stressful situation. And then Prince asked, what happened? Why is he laying down, and why the other people are crying and wailing? Why are they so stressful? And then Channa again explained the situation. This is death, and death is common to all. It's part of our life too. Everyone, whosoever is born into this world will end up with death. And then Prince Siddhartha was again very sad. He went back to the palace. Now, the fourth time he went, he saw another sight. It was It was an ascetic, a spiritual person. He saw an ascetic, a monk. He was very different, very peaceful, very calm. And then Prince Siddhartha asked, who is that? Why is he so different? Why is he so, how come he is so calm and peaceful? And then um, Channa explained that this is an ascetic, he is a seeker of the truth. Oh, that's very interesting. So it looks like the the first scene, the first sight that he saw was an old man, and then a sick man, and then a dead person. And now he saw another person. He saw the question, he saw the problem, and now he saw the solution. Now, this person, this ascetic person, is searching for the truth. He is a seeker of the truth. Oh, this is very wonderful. Now, this is the day he was so happy. He came back. He came back, decided to find the truth. So, um, young children, I would like to actually ask how many of us can feel it that way? How many of us have seen so many old people in our lifetime? How many of us have seen so many sick people in our lifetime? We just went through that very challenging, very difficult situation, probably never unprecedented in our life, the pandemic. We have gone through that. We have seen hell-like situation in this world where so many loved ones have been lost and they were sick. And we saw all these things. We saw the suffering in real time during in front of our own eyes. So, but how many of us felt like I should find uh, a solution to this? And I'm sure a lot of scientists, they were thinking, okay, we should find a solution to the virus, right? They were actually trying to find solution to the virus. So they found a vaccine. They found a vaccine, but still people are dying. So people get old, people get sick, and then people die. And there was someone in this world 2,500 years ago, a young man decided that I should find a solution to this. I should find a solution to the old age, the sickness, the death. And that was Prince Siddhartha. And he renounced at the very uh, prime age of 29. He left his house, royal palace, or with all the comforts. He had 3 palaces called Ramya, Suramya, Subha. He left all of them. For all the 3 seasons, and in the foothills of the Himalayas, when he had all the luxuries of life, he left all of them. He had a very young, pretty wife called Yasodhara. He left her. He had a newly born, beautiful, sweet little angel-like baby called Rahula. He left it. He had almost in the hand. He was just about to be the king of the kingdom, Kapilavattu. He was supposed to be the next in line for the kingship. He left it. He left everything. And he went deep inside the jungle, forest. He cut off his hair, and he left all those ornaments, and he left all those comfortable clothes. He was wearing ragged clothes. He was sleeping in the caves. He was sitting underneath the trees. And when he saw the people, he was running away from them, fearing that they would give him food. He was torturing himself. He was trying to find the truth, and he found for 6 long years, he found the torturing, self torturing, extreme penances would not help him. So he switched to middle path. And that was how he was able to regain his spiritual path, regain his energy, and then he meditated, and then he was able to attain, accomplish his spiritual goal. That was the what we call Buddhahood, the supreme enlightenment, self enlightenment. And that was at the age of 35. I just want to mention these ages. 29, he laughed when the human wisdom is in a very maturing mode. And that is like a turning point of our life. And when he attained the enlightenment, that was mid 30s, 35. And most of the world today, we see young, exuberant, thriving company CEOs and the world leaders. We can see at this very strong, fine age um, of 35. So ascetic Siddhartha, he attained the final liberation. And then he uttered an utterance. He uttered an utterance, a very, very important utterance. He said, I have been searching in this samsara. Samsara means the circle of transmigration. And I have been searching for the builder of this world. And I noticed that this builder, the creator of this world, was playing a hide and seek game with me. I could not find. I could not find. And finally, I found him. And that was the craving, the attachment, all forms of desires. And finally, I shattered the very foundation of this building. I shattered all the raft, all the roof, all the walls, everything about this structure of this building. And from now onward, henceforth, this creator of the world will not be able to create a world for me. He has completely eradicated all forms of defilements, all forms of desires, all forms of attachment. So the Buddha was very, very confident in his accomplishment. And then he started to preach this wonderful doctrine. And on a full moon day, Vesak full moon day, in the month of May, we celebrate the liberation, the enlightenment of the Buddha. And he preached his first sermon, the first discourse, what we call Dhamma Chakkapavatana Sutta, the wheel turning sutta, discourse. The wheel, it walks, it rotates, it proceeds all around the world. This wheel is what we call Dhamma wheel. And that Dhamma wheel consisted of Four Noble Truths. So the first sutta by the Buddha to the 5 disciples was called final of Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. That is the very essence of this sutta is the Four Noble Truths. The first truth is the truth of suffering. The second truth is the root cause of suffering. The third one is the cessation of suffering. And the fourth one is the path leading to the cessation of suffering. And now we can see a very wonderful, logical, scientific methodology that he found. He found the suffering. He noticed the suffering. And then he did not stop there. He went one further step, and that was to find the root cause of the suffering. That is the craving, the attachment, the desires. And now, how to stop this? How to get rid of that? And that was the cessation of suffering, the cessation of the desires. That is the liberation, the nibbana. What we call nibbana in Pali, it's called nirvana in Sanskrit. Okay. Vana or bana means craving, attachment, desires. Ni means negation, the absolute absence, all forms of complete absence of all forms of attachment. That is the Nibbana. So according to Theravada Buddhism, Nibbana is the complete absence of all forms of attachment, all forms of desires. And what happens here? It's not to be born in another different realm like a heavenly realm or Brahma realm or something. It is just the complete absence of all forms of desires. That is what we call Nibbana, the final liberation in Buddhism. And then he also um, found a way to achieve that goal. That was called the Noble Eightfold Path. That is the path leading to the cessation of suffering. Now we can see the carefully coordinated schedule work out for us, a plan for us. This is very interesting. And there is another sutta called actually Satya Vibhanga Sutta. And in this sutta, Venerable Sariputta, the foremost among the wise monks in the Buddhist order, the chief disciple of the Buddha, he actually explained about the Four Noble Truths even more. So I would like to actually explain these things in a little while. And maybe I should talk about the Four Noble Truths according to the Satya Vibhanga Sutta. I would like to actually explain how the Buddha um, approved the teachings of these Four Noble Truths. So what happens here? What is the suffering, the truth of suffering? And the truth of suffering is is categorized as birth is, or let's say suffering or stressful. So birth is suffering, aging is suffering, death is suffering, sorrow, lamentation, pain, distress, and despair, they are all suffering. And not getting what you want is suffering. In short, all the five clinging aggregates are suffering. Now, the sutta also explained what is birth. Whatever birth, taking birth, descent, coming to be, coming forth, appearance of aggregates, and acquisition of sense spheres of the various beings in this or that group of beings, that is called birth. So we are born in this human realm, and when we are born into this world, the whole experience is not so comfortable, not so happy experience, in fact. It's a really suffering inside the womb of a mother for almost 10 months is not so comfortable too. And born, the process of birth, that itself is not so comfortable again. So birth is suffering. Aging, how many of you would like to grow old? And whatever aging, uh, decrepitude, brokenness, graying, wrinkling, decline of life force, weakening of the faculties of the various beings in this or that group of beings, that is called aging. So aging again is an integral part. We really can get rid of it again. What is death? Death, deceasing, passing away, breaking up, disappearance, dying, death, complexion of time, breakup of the aggregates, casting off of the body, interruption in the life faculty of the various beings in this or that group of beings, that is called death. So we see that death all throughout our life. Death is an interesting topic. I was just reading a book called What is Death? Um, it was in Sinhala, but there are many wonderful books. Tibetan Book of the Dead, I think, is also a very famous book. I don't know if you have read it. Death, we talk about death in Buddhism a lot. And so we need to also be mindful about that death. Like every day when we wake up in the morning, it's like our birth. And every night when we go to bed, when we go to sleep, it's like our death. Just a temporary death for us, few hours of temporary death that we don't know whatever happened during that time. So death is still there with us. And we see in the morning the glorious sunshine, the beautiful sunrise. That is like the birth. And every single evening, we see the setting of the sun. That also very beautiful sight indeed. But after that, we see the darkness. So with the sunrise, we see the light. With the sunset, we see the darkness. Again, it reminds us of the death. We see the morning, in the morning, beautiful flowers blossoming very, very beautifully. It's such a pleasant sight, refreshing, fragrant, beautiful flowers all over. And then we see in maybe in the afternoon or in the night, maybe after some days, that beautiful refreshing flower decays. So what happens? The blossoming of the flower is like the birth, and the fading away of the flower is like the death. Don't we see that? And why do we offer flowers to the Buddha? That is a very, very profound meditation to us. That reminds us by offering this flower, we make it a point that um, we remind to ourselves, we learn the lesson that just as this flower decays, so is my life. So I'm very mindful about that. So what does it mean then? Do you feel um, like negative or pessimistic? Oh, the life is always like that. So we can live our life happily, peacefully, good health, or all the exercise, all the achievement, accomplishments of our day-to-day life. Should we stop all of them? No. It is just the mindfulness. It is just the awareness that life is so full of glorious uncertainties and we might lose any of those accomplishments that we have in our life. Some of the material properties that we have, we might lose them at any point. And some of the loved ones, we might lose them at any point. Some of your beloved parents or children or siblings or friends or relatives, teachers, elders, and your wonderful little lovely pets, we might lose them too. So we need to constantly remind, although we have them, we might lose them. We come into this world alone, remember that, and we go alone too. We come here uninvited and we go out of this world uninvited again. Have you noticed that at the airport you have the same thing? Airport with the arrival loan, you see a lot of people very happy. You might have the same experience when you welcome your loved ones coming from abroad or coming from another state. You feel so happy. They hug you. You give them a garland or flower bouquet. Everyone is super happy. What happens when somebody goes to the departure lounge? People feel sad. Their loved ones are departing. So they feel sad, heartbroken, and they cry, they weep. That happens, right? So you see the mentality in the two different places at the airport. Again, I felt it reminds us like the birth and the death. The association with the loved ones is so happy, and dissociation from them is not happy. So, in this sutta, the Buddha talks about that too. Sorrow, sorrowing, sadness, inward sadness of anyone suffering from misfortune, touched by a painful thing, that is called sorrow. What is the lamentation? Crying, grieving, lamenting, weeping, wailing, lamentation of anyone suffering from misfortune, touched by a painful thing, that is called lamentation. What is pain? Experience as bodily pain, bodily discomfort. Pain or discomfort born of bodily contact, that is called pain. What is distress? And then it can be mental pain, mental discomfort, pain or discomfort born of mental contact. That is called distress. Despair, despair means despondency, desperation of anyone suffering from misfortune, touched by a painful thing. And sometimes we also have suffering, what we call not getting what is wanted. In being subject to birth, the wish arises, oh, may we not be subject to birth, or may birth not come to us. This is not to be achieved by wanting. So even if you want, I don't want to be born, you really can do it just by wishing, just by wanting. It doesn't happen. So this is stress of not getting what is wanted. Sometimes maybe like little children, you really want to get something and you don't get it. You feel sad, right? That's why the children cry. And sometimes young people, when they have accomplished their education, sometimes you don't get a job. And so you feel not happy, not getting what is wanted. That happens. So illness, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, distress, despair, all these things happen to us. And then, so this is actually the Four Noble Truths, the first truth itself. And the root cause of this truth is, this cause is actually the, what we call mm, desires, attachments. The more you are attached to something or someone is suffering. Let us say, like you are having um, a children maybe. You might like a toy. You really love it. And sometimes it is broken. Then you feel sad. So it belongs to you. And so you were dearly holding on to that. And then when it is broken, you feel sad, right? And you can also see like the other children, they also have the same experience. But do you feel the same pain? No, right? The other children, they break their uh, toys and they cry. Sometimes you might even laugh at them. Oh, by seeing that, you might even laugh at them and you don't feel the same sadness, same sorrow. You see that difference? Why? Because you don't have attachment to that. That kid had the attachment. Same thing in our day to day life. Whatever we are attached to, it brings us more suffering, more sorrow, more sadness. And a lot of people get sick in the world, right? Do you feel the same sadness? But if something happens to your own family member, how do you feel? You feel very sad, right? See the difference. When it is so personal, when you are attached to that, when you cling to that, it brings you um, unsatisfactoriness, stress in return. So, same thing happens in so many different ways when we are attached to something or someone. Sometimes young people, when they have some relationships, you can see when the relationship is broken, sometimes people even commit suicide. Why does it happen? Because you are so much stuck with it and you can really get rid of um, that attachment. So with that, we see the extreme intense attachment can cause life-threatening situations too. When we get attached to that, and we might get angry, we might get sad, we might even get sick. All kinds of sufferings are exposed to us when we have the attachment. So the Buddha said, if you get rid of this attachment, you can actually achieve liberation, nibbana, the enlightenment. So you can see actually by practicing this thing, how to get rid of this attachment, how to let it go. And in our Buddhist practice, we have simple practices like um, skipping the dinner, for example, maybe once a week or something. In full moon days, when we practice 8 precepts, the sixth precept is called skipping the dinner. And the seventh precept is called getting rid of all the beautification and all the entertainment. And so you try to let go of those like your beloved practices and you get rid of them. For that day, you skip them. And so you are training yourself. This is the idea here. So I think by practicing these things, by letting go, by practicing generosity, we call dana, it's a tremendously powerful practice among Buddhist people and how to let it go. And that eventually help us get rid of that attachment, desires, all sorts of desires. So the enlightenment is a possibility if we continue to practice. The Noble Eightfold Path is um, the the way to that final liberation. It is the right view. It is the right resolve. It is the right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. You see, these things are really, really important practices. Over here, we have right view. Right view is like the navigation of your car. When you have the navigation, you can smoothly ride towards the destination. And if you don't have the navigation, you you will have a lot of difficult time. Challenging journey will be there, and you will have a lot of wrong exits and wrong entries. So it'll be a roundabout way, and it'll be a long, hard, difficult, and challenging journey for you if you don't have navigation, right? Let us say, California right now, and from California, if I want to go to another state, let's say, or to another like 50 miles apart, away from my place, if I start driving, and if I don't know the navigation, if I don't have the navigation or a map, it will be super hard for me. So right view is just like that. You have the navigation. You can smoothly sail to your destination. And right speech, right thought, they are really, really wonderful things too. Right speech, for example, you don't tell lies, you don't tell harsh speech, and you don't um, use slandering, like breaking up those wonderful relationships between some good friends. You don't want to break them apart. And then all those unnecessary, unwanted gossip, frivolous speech, what we call, we have to get rid of them too. This mouth, when we open, so many things can happen. So we have to be really mindful and careful when using the right speech. Right action is something like not killing, not to hurt anyone, not to harm anyone. We have to respect everyone's life. Then your life will be respected. And then you have to stop stealing. Or that means you respect others' property, their hard earned property. And then your property will be protected, respected. So you respect others' property, your property will be respected accordingly. And then in the third precept, he said, you respect others' family life. And when you respect others' family, your family will be respected. You will win respect from many people in the society. So, right action is really, again, an important part. And then, right livelihood, I think it is also very important to us. How to find right livelihood? Livelihood should not be harmful to yourself and to others. So the Buddha said in different forms of right livelihood, like 5 kinds of jobs to be avoided. Okay. One, satta vanijja, like animal husbandry, because you torture the animals. And then satta vanijja, it is the weapon business. Weapon business, easy money, but that can be really dangerous. We see how when these things happen, our world, beautiful world, young people like your world, future world, is in real trouble today because of the weapon business. Visa Vanija, the what we call the chemical business, like poison business. When we poison others, when we make others' life more toxic, and that again is not a right livelihood. Again, these are easy money, but it makes others uneasy, others' life sick, others' life short. So we have to be kind and nice to other people as well. When you earn something, you should not harm others and harm yourself. And the Majja Vanija is the drinks and drugs, alcohol and drugs. Again, easy money. You can see that they are like shortcuts. But then again, they are so disastrous to the entire world. We see young people, especially young people, and all the other people also who are addicted to drinks and drugs. They end up having miserable life. We have to be careful not to be part of such businesses. And um, Mansa Vanija is the human trafficking. Again, this is another uh, dangerous and also very unfortunate, miserable situation for the world. So we have to think of those things when we live. When you find a job, I think you also have to find right livelihood. Okay, right effort. I'm actually giving very short explanation. I'm sorry I was a little late too. So right effort is the like four kinds of efforts are there, what we call right effort. So that means there are there is the case where we have generate desires, endeavors, and then arouses persistence and upholds and exerts this intent for the sake of none arising of evil. So we already have some evils within us. So we have to make an effort not to arouse them. Okay. So, and the other thing is, we already we already have got rid of some of those evil, unskillful qualities within us. We already have them. Okay, some of those unskillful habits within us. So we have to get rid of them. That is the other thing. And then we also can see some other people in our society, in your classroom, maybe in the society, even in the family. There can be your siblings, your parents, your elders, teachers. When you even in the monks, you can see some of those beautiful qualities that you don't have. You see them. They are very nice, very sweet, very kind, and also very generous. Such things um, I don't have. Then you see them, you observe them, you need to inculcate, develop, cultivate within you. You need to make an effort. And the fourth thing is, you already have some wonderful, wholesome qualities within you, very positive qualities within you. So keep working on them more, keep improving them. That is the what we call right effort. Right mindfulness is actually practicing meditation, and we have to be ardent, we have to be alert, we have to be mindful about our mind, the thought, and also our actions and our speech. And if we are more mindful about these things, then our life can be more peaceful. And when our mind is more, our body is peaceful, our mind becomes peaceful. And when body and the mind become peaceful, we are able to see or achieve wisdom. We are able to take right decisions. That is what we call panya or wisdom. So these are the five four noble truths. In short, I was trying to give you a shorter definition, and yeah, with that, I would like to conclude. Maybe if you have any questions, you can ask. And once again, my apologies for the delay. And again, thank you so much for joining and inviting. May you all be well, happy, healthy. Sukhi Digahayuko.
Thank you so much, Bante. I'm sorry, I need to step out a little bit as well. So that's why Randy is happy hosting the rest. But I think it's okay. It worked out really well. That in the sense that we normally have the the Dharma, the teaching first, and then the discussion. I think the go around the table, but and then today we do the opposite direction. So, so it worked out well, and I think at this time, to the Bhante, anyone has any question for the Bhante?
I'll ask a very simple question. What was the name of that sutta? The one you're the second one, not the
Okay.
Dharma Chakra one, but the
Yeah, I can actually text here such Vibhanga Sutta. I can send the link to this.
yeah, I see. Yeah. I got it. I see it. Yeah, I'm interested in reading that one. So
Right.
thank you.
Yeah, this is a link if you want from
Okay.
inside, access to inside.
Okay, thank you, Bhante. Anyone else have any question? I think, hey, Randy, I think Donald is asking a question, say a statement in the
Yeah,
chat. Would you?
yeah. If you want me to read it.
Yes, please.
Okay, so Donald C says, if attachment is bad, then what about the attachment to Buddhism?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've heard this question, or to the Dharma, I guess you could also say to the Buddha.
Okay, so now the question is, when you want to cross the river, you need the boat, right? So you need the boat. And then once you cross the river, do you carry the boat again on your shoulders? You just leave it behind. So just like that, even the Dharma has to be abandoned eventually. So all sorts of abandoned attachments should be abandoned. And Dharma sometimes can also be like a snake. If you don't capture the Dharma in the right way, then just like the snake, if you capture the snake with the tail, what will happen? You will be bitten, right? So you have to capture the Dharma also in the true spirit right way. Otherwise, it can also be sometimes harmful. So even Buddhism, if you are attached to Buddhism and what we call that kind of attachment, like you want to harm others, that doesn't make any good to you or to others. Let us say we Buddhists or something, and then we war against others. Okay, how can you do this thing and that thing? Then we are not doing any good to ourselves and to others. That is the thing, yeah. And so all those isms, if you call it as an attachment, it can be an attachment in a way. But having said that, we need the Dharma for our own purification and enlightenment. We need to have the determination, we need to make effort, we need to also have that positive energy, and we need the Dharma in that sense. And having achieved our goal, we leave even the Dharma behind. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Bhante. Does anyone has any more question? Okay. If no further question, I think normally when we I think when we listen to the Dharma, I think like I also mentioned in the previous section that we can a lot of merits, and not most of the time we will have all the time we want to share that with all sentient beings. So I'm thinking before that we do the dedication of merits. Bhante, again, I would like to say thanks for your compassion and kindness and to come to teach us here in the class. And also apologies for the understanding of the timing. I think with a different time zone. So I apologize for that. And wish you well, Bhante. And I think we will see each other um, in the next session on the 24th.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now
So
I know it is 11,
your
right?
lunchtime. I'm sorry to interrupt your lunch. Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
it's
Yeah.
okay. That's okay.
So
Thank you
would you please
again.
go ahead? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you again for inviting me to this wonderful session. I would actually like to see people like face to face. That will make me more comfortable too. Like looking at the names and some pictures, and it will
Yes.
be, some kind of a connection. That
Yes.
makes more sense. Hopefully, in the next session, we will see you all. And also, I would like to invoke blessings upon all of you. May the Buddha Dhamma Sangha bless you, help you, protect you, and guide you towards the right path. May all your loved ones, all your near and dear ones, also be blessed by the Noble Triple Gem. May you all be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever you are. May no harm come to you from water, fire, air. May you always be well, happy, healthy. May all your departed ones receive this merit, share this merit, be well, happy, healthy, safe. May all sentient beings, including Devas, Brahmas in the upper realms, and also the other sentient beings in the lower realms, may they also share this merit, be well, happy, healthy, safe, wherever they are. May all of us and all of them be able to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana, the absolute peace and happiness at the end of our samsara. Thinking thus, please keep your palms together close to your heart and say 3 times according to our tradition, sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Bhante. Thank you. Um, Yeah, I think this, and I think before we adjourn, I think I would like to let the class know that the Bante did really, really good job with the short amount of time and cover the Four Noble Truth. And I think that is a, I think the Bante introduced to us, but I think it's more reading is needed for you all to investigate more if you have more interest. Or if you have any more questions, you can send it to me as well, and I can send it over to the Bante. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Wish everyone well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.